Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today let's have a chat about why you should go into luxury stores. If you are a luxury lover in any way, even if you don't buy any luxury items, let's talk in this video about why you should still go into the stores. And I say this against the backdrop of knowing, having been there, how intimidating and how off-putting it can be to go into a store. And when you break that down, and what my husband used to say to me is, it's a shop. Why are you intimidated to go into a shop? He didn't get it. We would be out, I would be going into one of these stores and I would come back to meet him and I would be gone for mere minutes. And he would be saying, did you not see anything? Was there nothing to look at? That was quick. That's not what I was expecting. But what he didn't understand was I felt extremely uncomfortable in the store. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like I didn't deserve to be there. I felt like I shouldn't be there. And of course, what all of this was coming down to was my own insecurities rather than the actual store. Yes, we can come across sales associates who are not the friendliest. There can be places you go into, quite often luxury stores, where the atmosphere is not very welcoming and the staff themselves are not very welcoming. But it was my own insecurities that was allowing that atmosphere to impact upon me and allowing the way they were behaving and they were treating me to have the effect on me that I then didn't feel comfortable going into the store. And I do think that that ties into how you go into the store. When I went into the store, there was probably a big neon sign pointing at me that I didn't feel comfortable, that I wasn't going to buy anything, that I was not really even myself thinking I should be there. And that made it very uncomfortable. But the first reason, if you're a luxury lover in any way, as I say, even if you're not intending to buy anything or you don't buy luxury, but you're just interested in it, the first reason why you should go into those stores is you're not going to become comfortable in those stores until you go in. If you're like me, and for a long time you skirt around the edges, and I used to go in and I have this particular tail that I will do when I'm nervous, and I would be doing that and I would feel it, and I would skirt around the outside edges, hope that nobody looked at me. Please don't ask me if I want to see anything. Please don't ask me if I'm okay. Just ignore me. Just pretend I'm not there. Let me skirt around the edges and then run back outside. I did that for a very long time. If that's how you feel, like me, I didn't become comfortable going into those stores until I kept going into those stores. It was only when I kept pushing myself out of my comfort zone and going in, because I wanted to see the pretty. I wanted to see the bags. It was only then that I started to become more comfortable and more confident. And it was only then that I started to figure out, hold on, I can be here. It's a shop. I can look at a bag. Just because you look at a bag doesn't mean you have to buy the bag. Doesn't mean that you're forced to buy it. But if you want to see it, if you're interested in it, of course you have a right to be in that store. Of course your presence is welcome or should be welcome. And if they're making you feel like you're not welcome, that's on them. And it's only whenever I started to push myself out of my comfort zone that I gained confidence. And I gained the confidence to go into these stores and to go into them in a way that made them very, very enjoyable. I figured out that my confidence was being built from pushing myself into uncomfortable situations to the point that I got used to them. I broke down the mental barriers that I had in my own head and I became comfortable in them. And now it's something that brings me a huge amount of joy. But that didn't come overnight, and that's certainly not how it used to be. That is by continuing to go in and push myself. Now, I think it's probably different if you come from a different background than I do. If you come from a lot of wealth and you're used to being around luxury and used to being around luxury stores, this probably has never been an issue for you. In fact, you probably don't know why I'm talking about this in a video. But if you come from my sort of background or have any of these experiences, I think this will resonate with a lot of people about how you feel going into these stores and how they make you feel and how you feel like you shouldn't go into them. And hopefully this video will help you take the next step. Because if you're interested in luxury at all, there is no alternative to the stores. There's no substitute. YouTube is fabulous. Fabulous for letting you see things. It's how I do a lot of research. But going into the store and actually feeling the bag and seeing the bag is a big thing. Number 2 is that it will help you to build your own confidence and self-esteem by reminding yourself that it's just a shop. And the sales assistants that work there are just people. They're normal, everyday people like you and I. And if they're rude to you, they don't deserve to be rude to you any more than the person on the street does. Or somebody selling you your morning coffee shouldn't be rude to you. Neither should a sales assistant in a luxury store. And when I started to challenge myself and push myself to go into these stores more often, when sales assistants or people in them were then rude to me, I became much better equipped to deal with that. I became much better equipped to stand up to that and not to be, oh, sorry, no, I don't want to look, no, sorry, I'm taking up your space, sorry, I'm taking up your time. Why was I apologising for going into a shop? And it was only when I started to realise just shops, just people, no right to be rude to me like anybody else does, shouldn't treat me any different than anybody else does. I'm not being rude to them, so I'm not going to just accept that that's okay. Number 3, and we've touched on this slightly, but if you are interested in luxury at all, YouTube is a fabulous resource for researching bags, for seeing mod shots on bags, for getting information on bags, on new releases, and all of those things. But it is not a substitute for actually seeing the bag, trying the bag on, feeling the bag. It may be that when you feel the bag, it's not what you think it's going to be like and you don't like the leather. It may be that when you see me try on a bag, even though I tell you in my videos that I am 5'1" and a UK size 12, that how you imagine that bag on me would translate to you and your body shape or your height, it might not actually work like that. There are so many bags that I have thought were going to be fabulous and perfect and wonderful until I got them home and I tried to use them, I tried to make them work, but they didn't work. As much as I had researched them, some I know I'm very impulsive, but the ones I'd actually done a bit of research, that it's not how I thought it would be. So going into the store, and I know it's difficult for a lot of people who don't live close to stores, but if you do have the opportunity to go into them, going into stores and trying these things on, trying them on your own body, your own skin tone, your own hair colour, all of those things tie into how much you're going to love this bag and if the bag is going to work for you. If it's ready to wear, even more so, you need to see it on your own body shape. If it's shoes, every brand fits different. I have a size 5.5 in certain Gucci shoes and a size 4 in Gucci trainers. That's one brand. I have 5.5 in Dior and 4.5 in Dior. Don't even start me on Louboutin. The sizes are crazy. One style doesn't mean that you know your size in all of these different types of shoes. So if you're going and you have the option to go in to try the shoes on, there is a much better chance they're going to work for you and they're going to fit for you. Perfumes, you need to smell them. No matter how many times I tell you that California Dream from Louis Vuitton is one of my favourite scents and it's summery and it's light and it's fruity and it's fabulous, you won't know that till you actually smell it. A belt, I can measure myself on their little guide things and still get it wrong. The belt still doesn't fit. Jewellery still doesn't fit, still doesn't look right. So there is no substitute to going in yourself to try these things on. And if you are going to go to the point, or you already buy luxury, if you're spending that amount of money and you have the opportunity to go into a store, you deserve to get the luxury experience along with it. Now, there's places you'll go into and the luxury experience may be very lacking, and that's another video in itself. But generally, you should go in and come out feeling fabulous. It should be a high. You should get the time with the sales associate. You should get the glass of champagne or the cup of tea, whatever it is that you particularly like. You should walk around the store with it. You should get all the trappings and the benefits of why we like to buy luxury along with the purchase in your in-store experience, and it should make it better. Making that point number 4, the luxury experience when it's done right is something else. It's something that definitely makes the whole experience of buying certain pieces that much better. I have, and I'm looking around this room, I have bags that I have ordered. The Dior saddle bag, which is bright yellow and screaming at me from the back there, that was ordered from New Bond Street, Dior, from the sales associate that I work with there, who's the best crack. He's fabulous. You may have seen him in my recent London vlog in Dior, walking the catwalk. He's the best crack. He makes that experience so much fun when I'm in store. This one I wasn't going over. He packaged it up and he shipped it to me and I opened it here, and don't get me wrong, I love the bag. But it's nowhere near the same level of crack or enjoyment or joy of actually getting the bag, receiving the box at home, than being there and being in all of that, and the whole moment of it just isn't the same. So I think that's something, if you're going to spend this sort of money, you deserve to have that too. And number 5 is, if you are a luxury lover, like myself, and you want to buy certain pieces, you're interested in new releases, you want to see new pieces coming out, there really is no substitute for building a relationship with an SA. Yes, you can try to buy things online, but if they are new releases, or they're limited edition releases, or they're Chanel releases, which are very hard to get, or they're pre-orders, if you're trying to do all of that online, it will be a lot more difficult than if you have an SA who is doing it for you. And you can tell them what you're interested in, you can tell them you want to try and get that bag, and they will try to make that happen. They will help you try to track it down. They will send you pre-information of the new releases. They will send you the lookbooks. If something comes in that they think is your style or you love, they will send that to you before it comes out on general release. And that makes it an awful lot easier to get your hands on pieces that are limited than if you're trying to do it all by yourself. If you miss some of these pieces on the release and you then try to get them on the resale market, and I've been there, I've done this, you will end up paying at times significantly more money than if you'd managed to get that piece when it was released. You also are taking the risk when it's pre-loved that you need to get it authenticated. It may not be in brand new condition, but you may be paying more than you would have if you'd got one brand new at retail. So having an SA to work with and finding one you click with makes this collecting, although I try to say I'm not always a collector, but makes this buying of luxury pieces that much easier. It also means that when you do go into store, your experience is that much more fun because they know you and you know them and you have the crack, and hopefully you build up a relationship with them that's good and fun and light and everybody is happy, and it just adds to the whole experience. And if you are putting off going into stores because you don't feel comfortable, like I did for so long, there are so many Louis Vuitton pieces that I bought from resellers, think the Nano Speedy, paid extra, that once now in the position I'm in with Louis Vuitton, I never would have had to do that because it would have been found for me and I would have got it at retail. But I let my own uncomfortableness and insecurities, I suppose, keep me from doing that. And then it was prejudicial to me when I was buying those bags, whereas now it's so much easier and so much more fun. I hope this video has been helpful. I know it's probably aimed at a niche amount of people who are in the position like I was, who love luxury but are nervous or uncomfortable to go into the stores. And I hope it kind of shows why you should and you can, because I was in that exact position and it's very different now, but only because I pushed myself to do it. And I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has at all, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.